Good afternoon there, my name is Miss Eva and today I'm going to talk to you about behaviour management. So that's teaching standard 7. Being able to manage behaviour effectively within the classroom and produce a good and a safe learning environment. So there's a multiple of tips that I could give you today, but I'm specifically going to tell you 5 tips that I've either been taught myself, that I've found out via revelation, or I've just found out myself by testing it and I thought, oh my gosh, it works. I definitely have to share this. So, one of my first tips to be able to manage behaviour effectively within the classroom is positive verbal reinforcement. What do I mean by that? Now, John can be sitting next to Alex and Alex is misbehaving and Alex is shouting and he's talking, and rather than me saying, John, Alex, stop that, stop that, stop that, stop that, stop that, I simply walk around and say, John, that was amazing, that's fantastic, you're amazing when you choose to focus, that's great. That automatically puts invisible pressure on Alex, and Alex wants to then conform to that positive behaviour without him knowing, because deep down inside he does want to get the well done Alex, that's amazing Alex, and so forth. So positive verbal reinforcement. My tip number 2. Now, this is all based on what you have in your classroom. So I've got a whiteboard in my classroom, and on the whiteboard I have a side that it says good, a side that says time owed, and the relocation room, and then we also have 3 good points, you get a merit, 4 good points, you get a phone call home, 5 good points, you get a postcard home. So already that sets the tone of the classroom. Students come into the classroom and they know they have the ability to, number 1, get their name on the good side, so they will be rewarded for good behavior, and if they do get their name on the time owed side, they have the ability throughout the duration of the classroom to be able to get their time worked off. You also need to know the systems within your school so that you can then know whether you have to give a first warning, second warning, third warning, and then there's a relocation. Hence why I have the relocation room on there so that students already know, okay, you know what, Miss is not messing around, this is what's going to happen if I do that. Great. So, my tip number 3 that I'm going to give you today is being able to control your tone of voice. Now, when students are shouting, challenging students, they're all over the place and they're making noise and whatever, rather than me saying, stop that, you're making noise. If a student is shouting, and I tried it a few weeks ago and it worked, I said, why are you shouting for? I whispered, I quietly lowered my tone and I said, why are you shouting for? I don't understand why you're shouting. And her response was, sorry miss, I will lower my voice down. And then I said, yeah, don't do that again. And naturally, she mirrored what I did, and she then began to conform and have good behavior within the classroom. And my 4th tip for yourself as well would be establishing expectations from the start. So that's part of TS1 as well, you can say. So from the very, very start, when you find a new bunch of kids, we don't find them, but when you get assigned a bunch of kids, you then explain to them your expectations. You go through the expectations with them via PowerPoint, via discussion, and then you also get them to say back to you, and you also get them to feel like they are part of creating the rules. So you tell the rules and then you say, so what do you think we should add on there? That's fair enough to say? Do you think this is fair enough to say? What do you think we should add on there? And then because they've understood the expectations at the start, when they break their expectations, you can then say, you know what, Sarah, we had the expectations at the start. You know what I expect from you. Okay? My tip number 5, and you probably hear this all the time, building rapport with the students. You have to have rapport with your students. A student will only do well in your class if they like you or if they like the subject. So I have had some students that say, I hate English, but they seem to like me as an individual or as a teacher. And because I have that rapport with them, I can say, I'm really rooting for you. I really feel that you can do it. I really feel that you can get a grade 9. I really think you can do this. I know we put you as a target grade 5, but I really think if you focus, you can do that. I was reading an article the other day, William Glasser, and he actually stated that when you present kids with choices to behave well, then you've given them the power and them the responsibility to be able to then say, you know what, I actually want to behave in Miss Eva's class. I've had some students come to me and say, Miss, you're the only class I behave in, I don't behave in any other class. And I'm not saying that I want them to misbehave in any other class, but because I've built that relationship with them and because I've presented them with the choices that, look, when you do behave well, this is the work you produce. You are exceptional, you are a pleasure to teach, you are all of this. When you don't, you're like this. And William Glasser outlined that when you present them with the choices, most of the time that either they choose right, or but they're shown that, oh my gosh, when I am behaving to the best of my ability, I can be at my highest self. So those are my few tips for you that I believe that if you implement within your classroom, you'll be able to manage behavior more effectively. And any other tips that I have, I will also be able to tell you at a later date. Underneath there will be a few links to good behavior management books, other articles I've read, and if there's any other thing that you want to ask me, you can. Thank you so much. For myself, Miss Emma.